So here I am. Basically what we have here is an open Nintendo Famicom, which is, let's just move the furry dog, I don't even know why it's there, but I've had these for a while. This one I bought for $5 from a flea market, and it's a bit filthy, but it actually works. The purpose of this video is basically just to show you just how to replace the controllers. So I bought this, and one of the controllers was broken, actually both. I'm still not entirely sure if the microphone on this works, because I don't know how it actually works, but it's fairly straightforward. So I'm going to put these broken controllers, basically this Famicom is going to be for spare parts, so let's just turn it around, have a little look at what it looks like on top. This is actually cleaner than the one that I'm using, but it doesn't have those two stickers, which I'd like to keep because it looks more original. So let's just have a little look. So basically this pad is the first pad. It's got number 1 on it anyway, so that goes in the right hand side here. If you're taking them out you'll know anyway, but there's a bit of a loop in the cable, and that's basically, will show you that you need to wrap it around this small screw hole thing. Oh, holy shit. Alright, one-handed, never much fun, but entirely possible. So just push that down, and in it goes. They've got these little gullies, this row to stick it in. So basically Famicom controller ports are really easy to deal with. You basically just need to stick the pin in, the plug in to the motherboard here. These are broken controllers, but to get it out, to get these out, I always recommend using a flathead of some description. This one is a Phillips, so I'll just pop that out, then pop the flathead in. Now all you need to do is just lever inside. I don't know if I'm going to get focus here. Probably not, a bit too close. But basically, it's a bit hard to see, practically impossible. But there's a small space next to the plug, but you just need to lever it rather than pull the plug. If you lever it to a point, you can pull the plug, but there we go. So the right hand side is slightly out now, so it should just sit as pulled out by hand. It's just easier to use a screwdriver because you might end up damaging the solder or the socket joint, the socket itself, and the cables here that are coming out the top of the plug. So always use a flathead when you're pulling plugs out, and just lever it out. It's the easiest way. Because if you can buy a Famicom for cheap, because a lot of people want them because they are a really classic design, you know, they look pretty cool. So it's always worth, it's fun restoring them as well. So if you can get hold of a couple of broken ones and just use spare parts from one for the other, then it's a worthwhile exercise if you can get one working, because they are much better looking than the NES's, Nintendo Entertainment Systems. So this controller is actually the one with the microphone in, so it's got a bigger plug to accommodate an extra internal cable basically. So let's just put that into it. Right. This is much fun with one hand. But anyway, that'll wrap around and go into here. Now in terms of actually increasing the length on these cables, you could, I imagine, splice the cable and use a bit of maybe Cat 5. It looks similar sort of cross-sectional area. Use Cat 5 or telecoms cable and just mark down the colours and just give it that extra bit of length on the controller, because these controller cables are really short, and if you can do that you could probably get some extra length. The other alternative is one of these, which is a Honeybee Famicom controller, which plugs into the front where the light gun goes as well. So this is Hudson Soft controller, who are obviously the same people that made Super Bomberman. Bomberman. There is a version of Bomberman on the Famicom actually. I've got it, Bomberman 2, and it's very good for a Famicom game. The Famicom is a classic system, and if I'm not mistaken, it's got a much wider library of games than the NES. Although there's some variations and there's some games available on the NES that there aren't on the Famicom, it's still a much more collectible system in some respects, and the cartridges are also many different colours. I mean, they're not grey, so this is Final Fantasy 3 and this is a white cartridge, so I don't know what is up with the focus on my camera. Maybe the lens is dirty, but that's Final Fantasy 3. Actually, I'm just going to give the lens a little light. Maybe. No, it's probably not the lens, just crap camera. So yeah, that's basically how to pull out the plugs from the motherboard. If you want to extend the cables, I imagine you can. I'd use some telecoms cable, cut in the middle, and then just there's these little push down connectors. There's enough space in there to put some in. You could get some extra length off that cable. Probably all you need is another 50 centimeters really, and then or just at least get that to the end, because they are really short and they come out the back of the Famicom, which is really pants design, to be honest. If they came out the front, obviously it'd be easier, but yeah, failing that, just buy one of these Hudson Soft Honeybee controllers, and they work a treat, because they just plug into the front like so, and it does make for an easier reach when you're playing. So yeah, that was it inside a Famicom. This one's broken, it doesn't power up, so perhaps this is the power board here. There's probably a fuse. Someone had taken the screws out of this, because there are a few screws missing. There's even one screw missing here, so someone's had a go. If they knew what they were doing, I'm not too sure, but I don't have a tester at the moment, so I can't test the fuses, but I will. I'll get round to it and I'll try and fix this one as well. The controller's shot all of the internal parts. I've had a look and they're really worn, so I don't know how much of a repair I can actually make on that. But yeah, that was it. just showing you how to take the controllers out of the motherboard and potentially extending the cables without showing you how to do it, but I'm pretty sure it's quite straightforward. And also the honeybee converter, a honeybee cable controller if all else fails. But yeah, that's it. Cheers.